All right, this video is about take rate. Take rate. So the take rate is how much of the passenger's payment do Uber and Lyft take and keep for themselves. So during my long and illustrious career, 7 years, over 29,000 trips, I knew my take rate when I first started. It was 20%. So whatever the passenger paid, I got 80%, and Uber and Lyft kept 80%. And that kind of seemed like a ripoff because before that, the take rate was only 10%. Then we went to time and distance payments. So we knew we were getting paid, but we didn't really know what they were charging the passengers and what our take rate was. And now we have the, mysterious black box upfront algorithm-derived payments. So what I'm going to do is in this video show you how you can calculate your take rate from both Uber, who makes it way more difficult, and Lyft, who makes it a little easier. And stick around because at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you for the last 8 weeks, my take rate from Uber, my take rate from Lyft, and my average take rate for the two combined. And it's pretty interesting. All right, let's get into it. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking a little coffee. Okay, it's 8:20 in the a.m. The sun is shining, coming in. I got the lights on, so I'm all, lit up. And we're going to get into this take rate. So I found this article. This is a few years back. As rideshare prices skyrocket, Uber and Lyft take a bigger piece of riders' payment. And according to them, it's 50%, right? We booked 10 rides with Uber and Lyft. Drivers pocketed an average 52% of our fares. Then I went to the Uber website to see what Uber had to say about their take rate. And right there it says Uber charges partners 25% of fees on all fares. So I don't know exactly where they came up with that number, but that's what's on their website. So let's get into it. Number one, how to calculate your take rate with Uber. All right. So first thing you got to do is go to their website and you're going to click on Uber earnings and it'll take you to this page. And what you're going to want to do is click on weekly statements. And then where it says search by month, you can pick the month. As you can see, I'm in May. And then I want to look at the statement for starting on May 1st. And then I click on download PDF. And this will put the PDF right on my computer. So just to be clear, you cannot get this information from the app. The app does not have this information. You have to go to the Uber website and go through it this way. So then you get the document, and that's what you're seeing now, okay? So there's a few key pieces of information. On the top, it shows customer price. So that shows what the customer paid without promotions and without tips. Then the next highlighted is your tips. Okay, so we're going to subtract your tips. So what you get in tips is 100% yours, but it should not really affect the take rate. Okay, obviously it makes it better for the drivers, but I want to look at the take rate without the tips. And then what you see right under the tips where it says customers paid $14.8269 after any promotions and tips. Okay, so that's really the number we want. And then we want your earnings, okay? And that shows exactly how much money you made, okay? And that includes tips. So next what we got to do is we got to do a little math. So we got to take the total earnings, okay, and subtract your tips. So in my case, that comes out to $932.80. That's my earnings without tips. Then we got to look at what the customer paid without tips. So we got the customer paid $14.8269 less my tips. That means they paid $13.47. Then we do a little simple math and we divide what I made versus what they collected from the customer, and that's 69%. So I got 69% of what they charge the passengers. So therefore, Uber's take rate is 31%. So in this particular week, they collected 31% of the fares that were charged to the customer. So that's what you got to go through in order to calculate the Uber take rate. So what you're seeing right here are screenshots. First screenshot is the home page of the Lyft app, and you're going to click on the $sign. Then that'll take you to the second screenshot, and you're going to click on See Weekly Breakdown. And then that'll take you to this page, and you can toggle up at the top for the week you want. Here we're looking at May 22nd through 28th. And down at the bottom, it says passenger payments excluding tips and your earnings excluding tips. So Lyft makes it much easier by giving you the information without the tips, so you don't have to do any subtraction. So they're giving you the two numbers that we need to divide in order to calculate the take rate. So when we do the math, what you're seeing there is the take rate is 21%. Okay, so this particular week, and it must have been, I drove a little bit for them because of a good bonus offer, I got to keep 79% of the passenger payments, and Lyft, in this case, got 21%. So you can see by comparing the two that the take rate varies by company, and it's going to vary by week depending on the bonuses, because the bonuses are, earnings which come out of the take rate. So every driver is going to have a little different take rate depending on how they're doing with the bonuses and the promotions that are being offered. So the more bonuses and promotions that you're taking advantage of, the better, the lower the take rate is going to be for both Uber and Lyft. Number 3, so what does this look like for the last 8 weeks? So what I did is I pulled those numbers. I went through that exact same procedure for both Uber and Lyft, and here's what we came up with. So what you see on the left is Lyft, and Lyft had a take rate of 33% over those 8 weeks. And you can see the take rate varied from 5% to a high of 41%. Okay, and again, that's primarily the difference is the bonuses and my ride selection. And then over here at Uber, okay, you can see I made a little bit more money with Uber, and my take rate was 78%. So their take rate was 22. So that's pretty good. That's really close to even the 80% that I used to get when I drove back in 2015-16. And then if you combine the two, you can see that the average take rate is 27%. Now you may say, if you look over at Uber, you can see I've got a -7. That was the week that I received a $530 bonus. And that was a guarantee over a 3-week period. So that really helped, obviously, helped the take rate. So I actually did really well versus Uber, because they offered me some outrageously generous bonuses. So number 4, does this really matter? No, this doesn't matter at all. What matters is, are you happy with the amount of money you're making per hour driving? Okay, that's really the seminal question. How much Uber takes from the passenger payments, whether it's 50% or 25% or 27%, doesn't really matter. It may infuriate you because, drivers used to get paid more as a percentage, but it doesn't impact, what you make per hour. If you're making the money you want to make per hour, be happy and thrive. And if you're not, figure out a way that you might be able to make more, become a better driver. But how much Uber and Lyft take doesn't really impact you at all. It doesn't impact me at all. Let me give you an example. If I'm making $20 an hour and Uber and Lyft's take rate is 10%, that's no bueno for me. No bueno, because I'm only making 20 an hour. If I'm making 35 an hour and Uber and Lyft's take rate is 50%, great, no problem. I'm happy making anything over $30 an hour. I don't care that Uber is taking half the money as long as I'm hitting my numbers, my metrics. So that's what you need to focus on, is your metrics and how much you're making per hour, and does that meet your needs? Key takeaways. Well, I was surprised. I really thought the take rate was going to be around 20%, and turns out it's 27%, and that's even with a pretty nice bonus. So Uber and Lyft are taking more than I had thought. But I'm going to take my own advice, my wisdom, and say, great, good for them. As long as I'm making my $30 to $35 an hour and I get to drive on the weekend and I get to talk to some interesting people and I get to watch the sunrise and I get to be outdoors and drinking some vanilla sweet cream cold brews and having a good time, I'm good. I'm good. So my recommendation is just, let all that drama play out. And if you're hitting your metrics, be happy and go enjoy the driving. And don't let that kind of bother you, because it really doesn't make any difference. All right. Hey, I want to thank you so much for watching the video. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy saying thank you so much. If you liked it, please hit that little thumbs up thing. That'll help more people to see this particular video. If you haven't joined us yet, subscribe and set up notifications so that you can watch a video virtually every day teaching you how to become a better driver, how to make more money in less time. If you haven't gone out and told someone you love them, go out and tell someone you love them. Have a great day. Be safe out there. See you next time.